Hi, thank you for checking out Garyrosetravels.com travel videos. We are expert budget backpackers and we've spent many years traveling the globe on a serious budget, and now we are in a position to share with you all of our best travel advice. At the end of our video, please click like and subscribe for more travel advice, and also do please check out Garyrosetravels.com for all of our posts, all of our blogs, all of our pictures, because on here you will find all the best life on the road advice and also some of the crazy stories and situations that we have been in over the years. It makes for quite an interesting read. So in this post we are going to talk about how to manage your money both at home and whilst you are on the road. In this video you are going to be learning how to save up to go travelling, how long it takes to save up to go travelling, how to decide and choose on countries to go travelling in, whether to take your bank card or your cash when travelling, how to look after your money, whether that's cash or card when travelling, and also at the end of the video I will be talking about the exchange rate and giving you some valuable advice on how to make money on your money when you are travelling. I can guarantee this is something that you won't learn anywhere else, because it's something I learned from my husband and we've never met anybody else who does this, so do please watch to the end to learn this invaluable advice. So first of all, I am going to talk to you about how to decide where to go travelling, what factors really come into play. So sadly, nothing is for free, and money is by far a definite deciding factor when deciding where to go. So you have to work out what are the type of activities you'd like to do. Are you interested in animals? Maybe it's history, maybe it's culture, maybe it's religion, maybe it's food, maybe it's diving. All these things cost, and you have to really give a good good research. Have to conduct good research into where it is you want to go and where it is. For example, Jordan has lots of activities that I'm interested in. It's very historical, and also there's some quite nice wildlife as well there, but the cost of these activities is really high, and also the daily spend is high. This doesn't mean that it's not achievable, it just means that you have to work around what you're given. Now, we can't afford to visit Jordan for 2 or 3 months, although we would love to, because the daily spend is about £50 a day each. That's each, not for couple. So yeah, it's pretty expensive. Again, activities are also really expensive. So yes, we can visit, but we have to visit for say 2 weeks and just kind of have a quick tour, but a very in-depth tour, as opposed to a country like Nepal, for example, which is about £20 or £30 a day, daily budget living expenses, and the activities are maybe £40–45, so it's quite affordable. You can really travel in Nepal for a long period of time. So where do we get this information from? Well, Lonely Planet does fantastic guidebooks which give really detailed travel budget advice. So do please check out Lonely Planet for whatever country it is you go to. Also check out Lonely Planet forums, and also check out, of course, Garyrosetravels for budget advice, and also email us if you want to know about budgets for various countries, also maybe budgets for activities, how much do you need for safaris, things like this. We can always offer you advice. So talking about money in relation to where it is you want to go is a deciding factor, and it doesn't mean that you have to miss out on your dreams. It just means that you have to have an achievable target, and also not to get disheartened. If you want to visit Egypt for 2 months or 3 months, that's perfectly viable. You just have to really be flexible, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Also, some countries are really, really cheap to visit for long periods of time, so we like to call these stocking filler countries. Places like India, also places like Bangladesh is quite cheap to travel for a long time, so you can get a lot out of it. without having to spend too much. So please do your research. So how do we save up to go travelling? This is one of the most popular questions we are asked, as you can well imagine. We just did a year of backpacking and we came home with change, which is quite nice. So how do we do it? Well, let's go for an example as a single person. I'm presuming that people watch this, I don't know whether they're single or not. I'll give an example as a single person. A single person living in London for a month, what would they earn? Let's say they earn £1,400. Their rent is going to be £700 and they're going to spend £200 on food and travel. And they're going to stash an extra £100 away for savings when they get back. So whatever is left after that goes on their travel, and that's how you work it out basically. Also, let's say that you're going to work out, you want to go to Nepal for say 3 months. So you're working out your daily spend, you've looked in your Lonely Planet, and this will give you an idea of how much you need to save up by. So you're going to go for 28 days. In a month, 20 days a month, but you can go for 3 months, so that's 84 days in total. 84 times by £20 a day, which is the recommended budget for a single person, is £1,680 for the trip. £1,608 for the trip, which is quite cheap, it's quite affordable. This is your base rate, this is your daily living, it's your sleeping and eating, it doesn't include any activities. So with 1,680 in mind, this is how much you are looking to save. You could probably make it to £2,000 quite easily. This is what you need for your daily living. So once you've worked out all your deductions from your wage, you know, your rent and all your boring shit that you have to work out, theoretically it should take you about 4 months, maybe 4.5 months to save up. So that is again how we work out. Also, we tend to, because we are a couple, obviously, we work as a team. So, you know, one person's wage goes on living and all those expenses and shopping, whereas the other person's wage goes on savings. We are very fortunate in that position, also don't have any children, things like that. So all of our money is our own. So one person's wage goes on living expenses, one person's wage goes on travel and saving. So because we do this and we're very strict with it and we're very dedicated, that is how we save up. We work as a team, but if you don't have someone to work as a team with, you have to stash away what you can and also be realistic. Don't get disheartened with it. Obviously, you could also go away with a friend. This is another way, but again, you have to really work together and be very honest from the beginning and say, look, this is how much I can put into it, not just kind of get together and go, oh, let's go away travelling, like so many people do, and then they get disheartened. You have to be very strict. We have a wall planner at home. On that wall planner, I have made a little star for all of our paydays, and it gives an approximate guide. So let's say £2,000 a month comes in each, you know, I know X amount will go on rent, etc., but the rest I kind of peg as like 800, which obviously there's always a little bit discrepancy, so it's a little bit more, which is great. And I work out exactly the approximate amounts that is going to come in, what we'll have by the end of each month, each 6 months, you know. So really it's about looking forward and putting plenty of things in place and planning. I like planning. So we spoke about how to save up to go travelling. Also, you need, aside from your daily living expenses, is a float. This money covers things like activities. Also, on those days when perhaps you've gone over your daily budget, these things are inevitable. Sometimes travel is really expensive. Sometimes you have to take first class train tickets, for example. Sometimes it's inevitable, you have to do it. Sometimes you have to take internal flights that you didn't see coming. Sometimes you know, you rock up somewhere, it's 12:30 at night, the only places are open to stay or a bit more expensive hotels, and it's £40 a night. You have to stay there. So what you do is you take a float, which is your security blanket. money. So although your spend for 3 months is 1,680, you might have a float for 3 months of £400, which is quite a nice amount. Again, this money is for maybe luxury nights somewhere. You know, you need a hot bath, so you're going to pay out for a guest house with a hot bath and a good sleep, you know. Also for any medical fees that are incurred. Sometimes, you know, you get sick, you can't help it. Also for activities, safaris, things like that. All these added extras that go along, always take a float. For years, my husband, when he was a young man, he travelled without a float, and he struggled a little because it was only later in life that he realised that he needed to make the float. So now it's always included in our travel plan. So even if we may take £9,000 for a year, we have a float of 2,000, and that covers us for all those added extras. I'll give you advice on how to make money for the float later in the video. So cash or card? Do I have tea? Hang on. Cash or card? Do you take cash or do you take card? We have travelled with both. Sometimes it's inevitable we have to take your card. For us personally, it's not the kind of thing we like to do because we're quite old school backpackers. We travel some places which perhaps don't have the best infrastructure. Maybe they don't have electricity, maybe they don't have bank machines, maybe they don't have internet. So, you know, we can always rely on cash, is what I'm trying to say. But if you're going away for, say, 2 or 3 weeks, maybe you're going to Delhi, you're going to Rajasthan, these places are very popular, there's absolutely no reason why you couldn't take your card. You're going to visit the main tourist hubs, you're going to be in the heart of the activities, you're going to be in the most up-to-date facilities that they have. Obviously in Delhi there's plenty of cash machines, it's an international city, there's European banks there, you know what I'm saying? So you can absolutely withdraw your money, and it's quite safe to do so. If you want advice on where to find the best bank machines, look again in Lonely Planet, because they list certified bank machines and also use bank machines which have security guards that you see other travellers using. Don't use sketchy ones, don't use ones that are in the middle of nowhere, use ones which are attached either into, you know, inside the bank or to the bank, near the bank. Don't just use random ones in like an off license type thing, don't do that. If you're taking cash, this is our preferred method of travel. Because we feel that in a lot of places, you know, money talks. You walk in, you've got money, as opposed to looking around for a card machine. You know, you get a better deal basically. People are quite old-fashioned in some parts of the world, and you get a better deal. Also, on that note, all this travel advice is for all parts of the world. For me personally, I specialise in South Asian travel. My husband has been to most of the countries across the world. He's a very seasoned backpacker, and this advice applies to all countries across the world. It's transferable to all countries, so whether you decide to go to India or Venezuela or Thailand, all the advice on these videos and also on Garyrosetravels is used across the board. So it is specialised in some posts, but in others it's transferable. You can use it wherever to make it accessible. You know, the same advice, the same common sense, the same methods are all transferable to other countries. Okay, so next, how to make money on the exchange and how to use the exchange when you're travelling, how to work it out. So I have my notes here, so just bear with me. It's quite complicated, and I'm going to be reading out of here, okay? So let's say you arrive in Calcutta. The rate in the airport is always really bad, and they will never give you a good rate. So what you need to do is exchange just enough money to get you to a hotel in a taxi, get you just enough for that night, basically is what I'm saying. Make sure you rock up on a weekday. Don't rock up on a Sunday or a Saturday night, Sunday morning, because it might not be open. So make sure you rock up on a weekday. As we have discovered, sometimes some places are not open, you have to wait, you don't have any money, it's a real ball ache. So yeah, just make sure it works for you. Anyway, so you rock up in Calcutta, you change just enough money. which is £30. You change £30, which is not very much. You change £30, you get 2,430 rupees for that. This now becomes your base rate for your daily spend. So you're going to say, okay, for my 6 months in India, I'm going to spend 2,430 rupees a day. Obviously you're not, because the exchange rates you're going to get further down the line are going to be much better. Exchange rates in airports are always terrible. But for this exercise, for this way of making money, you're going to use that as your base rate. So anything you make on top of that is extra. So this becomes your base rate for your daily budget. Any currency exchanges you make on top of this will be higher, so you make money. Your daily budget is £30 anyway, and you work it out using the base rate. Your daily budget becomes 2,430. Your actual daily budget with the higher exchange rate should be 2,520. You see, this is where you make money. You then do 2,520 minus 2,430, which equals 90 rupees. Now 90 rupees doesn't sound like a lot. However, over the course of 3 months or 6 months, it can really add up. 90 rupees a day turns into 630 rupees a week, which gives you an extra 2,520 a month. So it's an extra day's travel for free, basically, at the end. Times this by 6 months and you have a nice amount of money saved up. You've got nearly an extra week's travel for free. This is how you make money when you are traveling. It may not sound much, but over the course of 6 months, 8 months, a year, it really does add up. And also when exchange rates go up, obviously the amount you make goes up. So if you want more advice, or if you thought what I said was a little confusing, you need to watch it again or read again. Go on Garyrosetravels, because it is a huge post about how to do this. It took me ages to learn, and I've been travelling for a long time, and I love my husband. He has to be very patient in explaining these things. So the next day, you go to the exchange bureau and you give them £500 to exchange. The exchange rate is 84, so already you're going to be quids in. Yeah, so it was 81 or 82 you offered at the airport, it's now 84, which is fantastic. For £500, you are given 42,000 rupees. To work this out, you times 500 by 84, and that is how you work out the exchange rate. Anything extra you make on the exchange tops up your float. As I said, this float amount, and also covers you for days when you go over. So, as I said, the difference between the two exchange rates may not sound like much, but it really does add up. And not many people know to do this. So that is how you make money when you travel. And when you're traveling on a budget, all these things add up. If you want more advice on exchange rates and how to make money and what to do, please do check out the website. There's so much more advice on there. So how to keep your money safe. We spoke about using bank machines and what to do, what to look for. So in terms of keeping your money physically safe, you need to keep it in a money belt, which is attached to you at all times. Gary calls his money belt his second wife, because he is attached to him all the time. And basically it is concealed inside our clothes. Look at it's like where your belt would be on your trousers, is concealed there, so obviously no one can see it. Also, the money is squashed down into little backpack bags, so it's not a big wad of money, and it's kept on us, I keep saying, at all times, but you can't. It's so important you keep that thing on you at all times. There's also ways of keeping it safe and waterproof, because it can actually go mouldy because of sweat, which is quite disgusting. Again, on the website there's loads more advice on keeping it physically safe from harm like sweat, and also keeping it safe from physical threats as well, from robberies and things like that, which is something we have to take into consideration, unfortunately. If you want any more advice on money or budgeting or anything at all, do please get in touch. There's a link on here somewhere. Also check out Garyrosetravels.com. Maybe email us with your questions and just let us know. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope I haven't confused you too much. So that's all from me, and please like and subscribe for more videos. Thank you very much.